Hey everyone, this is Billy Price, co-founder of BILLY Footwear, and welcome to another episode of Open Book. So those that have been a part of Open Book, this is actually our episode 8. They're just coming right along, aren't they? Episode 8. So if you've been part of episode 1 through 7, if you've taken a gander and checked us out, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. But if you're new to Open Book, I just want to give you kind of a little bit of a background of the purpose of Open Book. So we have a lot of customers. I mean, we have an amazing, you guys are amazing. Let's start there. But you also have a lot of questions, and there's a lot of questions asking about kind of the backstory of the brand, how we came to be, just the journey that we've been on. And then also a lot of good questions about, what's happening right now. But then in addition, it's a lot of questions about where we're going in the future. And within that same swim lane of where we're going in the future, it also has a lot to do with who are we associated with. And, that can span from the retail partners. I mean, we have international retail partners now. We have a lot of domestic retail partners, but we also have a lot of nonprofits that we've been collaborating with. So it's been just a really exciting journey and a really exciting, story to be able to not only share our story, but also to be able to elevate the stories of so many other incredible people and organizations. So today we have one of our nonprofits that have joined us, and the name of this nonprofit is PMG Awareness Organization. And without further ado, let's bring in the CEO and president of that organization, Mr. Cody Stevens.
Hey guys.
Hey Cody. Thank you so much for joining us, Cody. I mean, this really is a privilege and an honor for us to be able to have you on the platform right here. But we just wanted to give you an opportunity to really share all the great things that PMG Awareness, the organization, is doing, how it came to be, and kind of how we can help. So with that, I'm going to kind of give you the mic.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Billy, for having me on. I will say that kind of from the beginning, I've been keeping an eye on BILLY Footwear, and I've seen where things have gone. Your story is inspirational to me and to a lot of our families. So I thank you for all that you do. And I can't wait to tell everybody how BILLY Footwear has really helped our families. I'll start by saying when it comes to PMG, what it is and kind of what we do. So PMG stands for Polymicrogyria. If you break the word down, poly is many, micro is small, gyria is the gray matter in the brain. And so basically what happens is this extra gray matter that's in the brain, it can cause developmental delays, some cognitive delays, speech, can cause epilepsy, many other things. And it does have a lot of different things that kind of go with it that we're still learning about. In the end, we are a rare disorder. And so, we are definitely part of like the rare disease community, and we're trying to do different research. We're trying to do different programs. But a lot of what the PMG Awareness Organization has done to this point has been a lot of family support, awareness, and advocacy. We're trying to do a lot to not just be able to support the families that have joined our organization, looking for the same answers that we were looking for when we first came in. And on top of that, we're trying to reach out to the medical field because, nothing can be more frustrating when you have a rare disorder like this, to go to a doctor and they kind of give you the same look that you gave the doctor the diagnosis, which does happen. So we are definitely doing a lot of work right now in the area of not just family support, but trying to raise awareness and advocacy for our families and for this disorder as a whole. If I can tell you that, when it comes to our family personally, Luke was diagnosed with polymicrogyria at 18 months, and we wouldn't have known other than him having an epileptic event. He ended up having a seizure. And what frustrated us, I guess, most about it, I mean, there's definitely the fear that sets in, but what the frustration that came in was that, unfortunately, the pediatrician we were talking to, he just wasn't sure of what was going on. We said, Luke doesn't use his left hand very much. What's going on? And the response was just that he's really right-hand dominant. Right. Little did we know that was one of the many things that comes with polymicrogyria, and we wouldn't have known without the seizure. So that really hit us hard. When the doctor came through and mentioned that Luke had polymicrogyria, we were like, oh, what? What is that? How do you spell it? We had no idea. We had no clue. And so luckily when we came out, and we were really trying to find other families to connect with, thinking, well, maybe parents are the best answer. And we went through, we found the PMG Awareness Organization. The president at the time was Robin Hudson, a great friend of ours now, that just with open arms brought us in, gave as much information as they could. And the organization has helped families from across the globe. At this point, it was pretty humbling to me when I was asked if I decided that I wanted to step in this kind of position. Nerves definitely set in, but eagerness was the biggest thing. There's nothing scarier. And I know there may or may not be dads in here. I'm sure moms can agree too. But nothing scarier than when your child's going through something and there's nothing you can do to help. Right. And so the point is, in all of this, is that we want to help. We want to be able to step out and do what we can to help others, as well as, anything that we do is going to help not just our family, but potentially thousands. So, right. And with that, I can say we've been looking for partners, we've been looking for sponsors, and BILLY Footwear invited us in. So I definitely appreciate you having me on, Billy, and thank you for everything you've done already.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really is our privilege and honor. I mean, it really is. And I like how you talked on, I mean, just the awareness part of it. My gosh, I mean, I think about when I first got injured, for example. It was trying to cope with that new reality and that new what the future would look like. It was very challenging to wrap my head around. I just really couldn't do it, and it really felt like I was on an island. I mean, granted, there were some people that were surrounding me that were also in wheelchairs, I guess, that could kind of be somewhat of a mentor, but really having like an association or some sort of culture around you that can, that you can share with and you can cry with and you can grow with. It's amazing how impactful and how beneficial that truly is. So, I mean, when it comes to the PMG awareness, I mean, I don't know the answer to this. I mean, how long has that organization been in play?
So, well, it's been around. I can say at this point, and I might be corrected, but I want to say that it was founded approximately 8 years ago. Okay. And I do know that the president that just stepped down, she was in office for 6 years, and I know that there was a lot of work done during that time that consisted of a lot of the family support, a lot of advocacy. We would do conventions, we would have different events, here, there, and kind of everywhere, just to really do everything we could do to raise awareness for this, for this disorder. In the end, like I said, even I can say as far as recently on a personal level, 2 weeks ago, Luke had another seizure. And we had to call EMS in because it was starting to become, it went longer than 5 minutes. That's kind of the protocol. And when EMS came in and they said, well, does he have any disorders? And I mentioned it. It was a dumbfounded look, Yeah. And I was like, I know. So as you're taking my son's vitals, I'll fill you in, and it's just kind of the way it went. And it's something that, a lot of PMG parents work with regularly. I mean, and, when it comes to the regularity of a lot of things, it's amazing how our children, a lot of the, even, we do have adults within our organization too, but a lot of the I guess a lot of the diagnosis comes with children, and it comes with potentially, it comes to the younger side, is that, we have this overwhelming response from our kids and from the diagnosed that it's just resilient. There's no other way to explain it. The word is resilient. They're strong. I can say for my son, this is the life that he knows. He goes to his appointments. He knows the drill when he gets there. He knows that, every 6 months or so, we have to have another neurology appointment and an EEG. We do know that he has his PT, OT, and speech normally on every Thursday, and it's a way of life for him. And it's just a fresh reminder that, how strong, I guess, we all can be, right. Because if any of us want to sit here and lie to ourselves and say that we're strong every day, we can, but it's just not true, right. And so, my little hero is outside right now, running around in the mud, making a mess, but
as they do.
yeah, right. But he is strong and he's resilient, and it's something that seems to be consistent with, our PMG friends. Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember when, in preparation for this call, when we were catching up, the idea of like the world that he knows, like Luke, this is the world he knows, but it's so cool because he's focusing on what he has, right? It's not a matter of being bogged down on what he doesn't have, or it's a matter of focus on what he has. and doing the best he can with it. And I mean, that's the type of mindset that everyone on this globe can benefit from. So to
Sure.
have a trooper and, you know, in the kid age already be able to come with that kind of mindset and really try to do everything that's possible with what's been given. I mean, it's always so inspiring. It always inspires me.
Oh, it's definitely, he's, like I say, he's my hero for sure. And I can say that we have different groups, whether it be, through Facebook or through our website, where our families can connect on a personal level. And to hear some of the stories, from some of the families, families will share different appointment, stories, or they'll share the latest birthday and some pictures. And not only do we have the privilege of watching, our PMG kiddos grow up, in some of these stories, but just that resilience and that independence just shows up time and time and time again. And it's just, for me, I even had to explain to my wife at one point, I said, I feel like part of the reason why I'm into this organization is to humble. It's to humble me, because I'll sit here and we can all whine and complain about the current situations and all that. But our little ones, man, they're tough. They're tough. And to hear these stories over and over again, it's encouraging. It's motivating.
Yeah. Well, I know that, I mean, boy, I mean, you kind of touched on like what's going on these days. These are definitely interesting times. But the interesting, what I was going to talk about now is, technology. It's crazy how now in this virtual space, how far one's voice can travel. I mean, you're on the East Coast, we're out of Seattle, and here we're having a conversation, but the same type of conversation with other families can really occur across the globe. And so it's amazing how small the world has gotten through technology and be able to interface through social media and also, these type of presentations and stuff. So, I mean, is that helped raise awareness of the PMG Awareness Organization?
In ways I can say yes. I definitely know that, with people, especially during things when things were really tight at first and everybody was at home, there was definitely a lot more action on the internet. There was definitely a lot more opportunity to connect. Even now, I know in some places things are starting to lighten up a little bit, and maybe some of the youngins are starting to go back to school. We still have that kind of culture right now where everybody's still really close knit and connected. I definitely feel like during all the lockdown and isolation that a lot of our families got closer. We all got to know each other. When it comes to a lot of the doctor's appointments, it's actually been really interesting because all of Luke's therapy, it's all online, and I'm pretty sure I can say the same for the majority of our families that are connected to us. But then on top of that, even the neurologists or the big doctors that you have to wait forever for, it seems like, to try to get a hold of, they now have your cell phone number and they're calling just to check in. And so that it makes it a lot more personal. So it makes it a lot easier to really explain what our goal is and our mission. The idea of being able to talk to, the different doctors that I've had the privilege of talking to over the past few months, to really explain this is what we do and this is how we're handling things. And if you're on board, we'd love to have your help. You might not get that otherwise. And so it's really been a way, to connect on that level. Now I can say with Luke being 4, he's definitely getting tired of looking at a screen. He's an extrovert, so he wants to be able to go spend time with his physical therapist and his occupational therapist. He's a runner, he's a player, he's a hugger. He wants to hug, and that's scary right now. So he's ready to get going. But when it comes down to it, the idea of having everything go virtual for a while, it made things a lot more personal, and it allowed us to really get to know each other on a different level.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. You're touching on all the doctors and the therapists and whatnot. Something that you really blew my mind about, and I did not connect these dots, and I think it's important to highlight, is similar to what you're talking about with, kind of the last seizure, like trying to explain like what's happening, like trying to explain what PMG is because of the unknownness of it. Insurance comes into play, and unfortunately, it seems like that's somewhat of a roadblock, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. In a couple of different ways. I can say, at least when it comes to, the United States, because we do have families that are part of our organization that are connected to us from different countries. But I can say when it comes to the United States, there are some different issues when it comes to insurance, when it comes to medical coding. That's a big thing right now, where, to give you an example, with Luke having polymicrogyria, there's been times where they've had to use a different medical code for insurance purposes. Otherwise, the bills will be astronomical.
Yeah.
And it's just because the research hasn't been completed yet, and it hasn't really had the advocacy done properly just yet. We do have, it's kind of interesting, so that kind of allows me to jump into this, and hope you don't mind, but
No, please go ahead.
we have recently brought in another PMG mom who just completed her doctorate in nursing administration, who has agreed to step in and try to help us along the lines of advocacy and awareness in the medical field. Interestingly enough, she is actually on here right now watching in our watch party, but she has stepped in, and it's her birthday, so happy birthday, Elena. But it's been amazing just to kind of brainstorm with her, because on top of her being a PMG mom, there is this almost inside track that she has, being as connected to the medical field as she is. And so we're really excited to kind of get some new programs and things going on along the lines of awareness. But that is probably one of the biggest things that we really need to jump on, and probably jump on quickly, is the idea of having, advocacy boosted. And really, we also been working on trying to get a medical advisory board up and running, and trying to do a little extra research for the sake of being able to, maybe even jump into potentially DC and get into some of the legislation for some things, because it's getting to the point we have so many families, and it's needed. Our families need it. That there's no choice. We have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all a matter of, oh my gosh. I mean, I love that you guys are leaning into that. I mean, it's not necessarily a choice. It's a responsibility, but
Right.
I mean, it's an uphill battle for sure. I mean,
Sure.
wow. I mean, it's take time, it's take sweat, it's take blood, it's take tears, and it'll take funding. And I know that as a nonprofit, funding is always, it's kind of the lifeblood of any nonprofit. So
Sure.
do you have any fundraising activities or opportunities coming up in the near future?
We do actually have one coming up in October. We try to do fundraisers all across, throughout the websites, and we do different things through Facebook and whatnot. We do different merchandise, but one of the biggest events that we have coming up is our virtual race. This year it is October 4th through the 17th, and we see that right now the virtual race is probably the best way to go. It's something that we've done every year. It just works for us because we're so spread out. But everybody's jumping into the virtual side, and it's like, well, we've been here the whole time. So we do have a virtual race October 4th through the 17th, and we encourage people to create their teams. You can join a team. We did, include the link here. You can definitely create your own team. You can follow one of our families who's created a team. You can help raise, money. You can do donations, whatever the case may be. But we're telling everybody at this point that it has to be, for the time being, on your terms. With COVID, the way that things are going right now, and I mentioned earlier that some places are starting to slowly open up. At this point, there are definitely some places that are a little tighter. So we want people, if they want to participate, absolutely. We would love to have you participate. We'd love to have you, jump in. Our registration is $35. It does get you a nice T-shirt with our logo on it, which I wish I had in front of me right now. But we do have the T-shirt with our logo on it, as well as a participation medal that goes out to every person who participates. If you decide that maybe that's not for you, we definitely can still join a team. You can help us fundraise. There is a donation link. However you see fit, we definitely would love the extra support. We definitely use this money towards what is going to be in July, our revised convention. We did have to postpone our convention. It was supposed to be in July of this year, and it was supposed to be in Costa Mesa, California. But due to COVID, we had to postpone it until next year. It is next July. And the funds that we are raising here will go towards putting that event on. And what we do is we bring in doctors, we bring in professionals, we bring in people from all different walks of life that are connected to PMG in some way, shape, or form. And we bring families in to get them as much information as we can, as much encouragement as we can, and to allow families to meet. That's one of the biggest things, is to find another family that can connect with you on such a level, to be able to look at somebody and not say a word, but know that they understand it.
Right.
It's amazing. So we can't wait for that convention, but the fundraising for that starts right here at this virtual race. Like I said, October 4th to 17th.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also exciting to, in addition to that, highlight the collaboration that, BILLY Footwear has with the PMG Awareness Organization. So we have a collaboration thing going on where the PMG Awareness Organization, they have an affiliate link. So if you are to purchase a pair of BILLY shoes through that link, it gives a commission back to the PMG Awareness Organization as part of a fundraising deal. So that's been, it's been awesome to be able to, help contribute for sure. I mean, what you guys are doing is incredible. And as I say, it's an uphill battle, but every little step counts. I mean, every little step is very impactful and every little dollar counts. I mean, it's, as the old cliche statement says, a waterfall starts with a drop. So here we are. Oh yeah. So there you go. You got the shoes. So walk me through it.
Every little step, right? That's my
every little step. That is a little step, isn't it?
Well, so, and we talked about it the other day, but it goes without saying, you definitely made the shoes, and you may not have had AFOs in mind, when you did this, at least initially. But more and more as time has gone on, one thing that we have definitely learned is that the AFOs work great with BILLY shoes. I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to assist in providing this to our families. The partnership has been amazing. Thank you. The link is on our website and it is there for everybody to see. We definitely try to post it at least once a month, so a friendly reminder to come join BILLY Footwear. But I brought my guy's little AFO and I brought a little shoe because I want to show it off. It's amazing. And I just mentioned he's outside and he's playing in the mud. He is not shoeless, okay? I told him I had to borrow these shoes because I wanted to show everybody. So, but literally, and I won't worry about zipping it, but it does zip perfectly. The idea of how it fits. I mean, it is completely, obviously we know that this works. It literally just pops right in, and you can close, and you can zip, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It fits them perfectly. It does work. I can say that there have been times when, we weren't sure as far as the size. We weren't sure because I know that some of the sizing is the issue, and even in some of the open books that I've seen previously, people have asked about the sizing and things. We went right off of your chart as far as how to measure in the best way to measure with the foot, and we measured the AFO for the left shoe, and we were able to do 2 different sizes. So I'm thankful for that. But overall, these shoes have been great. Luke loves them, and he can't wait for his next pair, which he knows he's going to be getting Christmas. He's like, I know I want shoes, so when are we going to look at the website? So
that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's that unobstructed drop-in solution. I mean, the inspiration came behind me like having to shove my foot into a shoe, but it's incredible how that simple idea has just transcended and crossed over so many different lines to help so many other people just to be able to, reach audiences that I frankly did not know existed. And it's been fun and incredible, such a blessing to be able to be a part of a team and like have a widget that's able to add value to so many. And, as you pointed out, like being able to drop that in, I mean, the inserts in there, the inserts are removable if you need more volume. The laces are adjustable so you can get that fit. One thing that we're really excited about on the same lines of fit is, those that have really bulky braces, much wider braces, the shoes for kids and toddler, they're a regular width right now, but this coming November, we'll have wider shoes for kids and toddlers. And I know a lot of people are jazzed about that.
Yeah, you probably just hit a heavy point with our group. Because, naturally, and I will say, at this point, this brace does fit well into the shoe. But I also know my son's growing, and so naturally things will change. So I do know that right now it does fit. It's been working, but I was wondering how that was going to work out. So the fact that this is coming, like I said, you probably hit a high note with our group, especially with these AFOs. It's been great. That's good.
The crazy thing about it is we've been saying November 2020 for, quite some time. And for whatever reason, time just cruised by and all of a sudden, like November 2020 is, less than 2 months away, which just really blows my mind, but it's almost here.
Well, so we've been the same way with this virtual race, and granted, I mean, when you and I first talked, and I'm talking the first time, when you called my phone and I'm standing outside and it's hot. I want to say it was March or April. Does that
Yep, it's
sound
in
right?
April. Yep.
It was just starting to heat up, and all the COVID stuff had just really gotten serious, and we're really talking about things. We're like, we have all this stuff going on. We were in such a big transition at the time. The transition hadn't taken place. I hadn't officially stepped in my position yet. We're still doing a lot of the training, and even back then, we're like, okay, we need to start making moves towards this virtual race in October. And I was just talking to my wife last night. I'm like, this virtual race is in October. So, it snuck up. It's, time is flying. I can say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, Cody, I mean, this has been an awesome conversation. I thank you so much for being willing to come on the show. And I'm happy we were able to give you the opportunity to share everything that's going on. Before I kind of, send us off, I just want to give you one more opportunity to kind of share what's on your heart, and then I'll take the reins and wish everyone goodbye.
Okay. Well, the big thing is, first, I definitely want to thank, BILLY Footwear. Obviously, Billy, thank you for taking the time and joining us in on this partnership. It has been definitely beneficial to us. I know that a lot of our families have been very excited and have been purchasing. The shoes themselves work great for our kids, and so I'm definitely thankful for that. When it comes to the organization, there's a lot of work for us to do. We are very excited. We have been bringing in volunteers. We have different avenues that we're going. We have new programs that we're working on. We definitely have some momentum going on right now, and even through COVID, even through everything else that's going on right now, our momentum has been consistent, and so we're really excited that we've been pushing through and persevering. And so, with that said, I guess we definitely have a lot of work to do. Anybody who is interested, you can definitely find us. PMGawareness.org is our website. You can definitely connect with us. Just look up the PMG Awareness Organization on Facebook, and you can find us there to find all of our latest information, all of our next upcoming events. It's been really exciting to see the encouragement and motivation. And right now, our major focus is to promote awareness of not just our existence, but the disorder as well. And we're really trying to push, for some major advocacy and potential research in the future. So thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak about what we do. And I'm thankful for everything that you've done, Billy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah. Thank you, Cody. I mean, I really appreciate that. The feeling is definitely mutual for sure. Well, everyone, this was episode 8. How about that? Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, we'll have another program, same on Wednesday. I think it'll be a little bit later in the day because our guest is actually our retail partner down in Australia. So there's a 17-hour time difference there. So if we launched it at noon Pacific, it'd be 5 a.m. for him. So I think we're going to push it back a little bit just so we can, give him the opportunity to even get up out of bed. So. But yeah, they're a retail partner we have down in Australia, so it'll be fun to hear their story too. Cody, thank you again. PMG Awareness Group, thank you again. And everyone else, enjoy the rest of the day. Okay, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.